state to campaign for the Democrat Senate candidates in the runoffs. Here's One America's John Hines.
Bishop Hines, I know you're in Atlanta. You're on sort of a special mission, coordinating with, I believe, Alvetha King, and you are there in Atlanta campaigning, I gather, for this runoff election January 5th, and particularly talking about something that the Hollywood Reporter has mentioned, saying a whirlwind of elites, including John Legend, Kerry Washington, Ariana Grande, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and others, are pitching in to make sure Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff win in the January runoff in Georgia and secure a majority in the Senate for Chuck Schumer. What is wrong with that, having all these celebrities campaigning in Georgia for their Democratic Senate candidates?
Well, those particular individuals in that grouping doesn't represent the black and white and brown people really of Georgia. These are elitists that believe, let's confiscate your guns, while at the same time they fly here with their special armor, bodyguards, they live in their gated houses, and kudos to them. But again, they are not reflective of the views and the values of Georgians. These are individuals that are supporting the candidate that hates white people, that hates the idea of our police men and women that serve in our poor white and black communities around this country. This is the same candidate that doesn't believe in the value of life. And I and Dr. King, that is the niece of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we have put together a coalition of over 50 pastors that have, many of us have flown in, but there are an array of these pastors that are here in the Atlanta area, and we're pushing back saying, no, we're not going to be divisive in our country and divide our country between races, but what we're going to do is we're going to unite as the United States of America, and we're going to put the right person in office, as Dr. King would often say, not based upon the color of one's skin, but based upon the content of that individual's character.
A lot of movies, a lot of television productions film in places like Georgia because the taxes are lower. It's cheaper to film there than it is, say, for instance, in California. There are fewer regulations. Is it possible then that some of these actors, these Hollywood celebrities, are advocating for, in some cases, higher taxes and perhaps more of a stricter, shall we say, regulatory environment? Is there an element of hypocrisy in that, do you suppose?
Well, absolutely. I just did an interview about the same topic just yesterday. That is, if Hollywood is so great and places like Georgia are so bad and so racially divisive, according to them, why is it that they come to states like Georgia or states like mine in Florida where there are no state taxes and they find it, you know, in a real sense of the word, it's better for their bottom line. So what they want the policies that guys and girls like myself that we vote for, but they also want to come in and dictate to tell us, but we want that part of your life, but we don't want the rest of your life. And that is, we want to be able to express our views, religious views or non-religious views, but we don't want to be shut down. We don't want our jobs taken away from us. We don't want someone to out us simply because we have a different point of view, a different perspective, a different ideology, a different belief system. Listen, the beauty of America, have whatever you want to have, but don't dictate to the rest of us how we should think.
Bishop, I'm wondering if you could look in your crystal ball, if you have a crystal ball, or a bishop's version, a pastor's version of a crystal ball, and predict perhaps an outcome on January 5th in this runoff election.
Well, I'll leave the crystal ball to those that practice a different art, but I will share this with you, and that's if the elections are fair, and that is a very big concern of ours. If every vote is counted and not votes that should not be counted, I think we'll do very well, as really we believe that we've done really across the country.
Bishop Aubrey Hines of G&G Ministries in Tampa, Florida, and the author of 8 Questions About Race, answering to the Black Lives Matter movement. Thank you for joining us from Atlanta on One America News, sir.
Hey, thanks for being so kind to us today. Thanks again.
And straight ahead on One America News, the Environmental Protection